Welcome to Manila, Philippines.
We're super excited to be in Manila. This is actually our first time that we've ever been to the Philippines. And we actually arrived here a couple nights ago. We flew from Bangkok on Cebu Pacific to Manila. And we arrived here at 6 in the morning. And we immediately went to our Airbnb in Mandaluyong that we booked for a month. But unfortunately, there was a little bit of a pest problem. So we immediately had to leave and find a new Airbnb. And luckily, we found another one, which I really love, in Makati.
We're staying at a place called RA House, which is super nice. It's got these 2 big beds, it's got a nice big TV, it's got a little kitchenette, it's got a workspace as well, and a nice little balcony with a view. So we really like it here. And we weren't expecting to be in Makati at all, so today's gonna be a surprise even to us, but we're really looking forward to exploring this area and seeing what we can get up to. But first, let's go grab some coffee. One thing we've already noticed in the brief amount of time we've been here in Manila is that there seems to be coffee shops absolutely everywhere. So I took a quick second to look it up, and it turns out that the Philippines is the second biggest consumer of coffee in Asia. I think that it said something like 80% of people here drink coffee, and on average like 2.5 cups per day. So that's pretty insane, to be honest. So we came to a place called Commune Cafe and Roastery, of course, for some coffee. And as you can see, I got something very interesting, and this is a pandan coffee. It looks absolutely insane. The whole bottom half of the coffee is just this bright lime green pandan color. And if you don't know what pandan is, it is a very popular flavor in Southeast Asia. It kind of tastes like coconut and vanilla, so I'm very excited to try this. It looks very interesting. So let's mix this up.
I think I might even like this.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, I'm just not a coffee drinker, but this looks delicious. All right, let's try this. Oh, that is so good. It actually is pretty coffee forward, so I'm not sure that you will like this, but I love it. It has like a little hint of that coconut pandan flavor, but what you really taste is that nice, strong coffee, and it's really creamy as well. This is absolutely delicious.
We are in this area that's called Población, and I think especially here, I feel like I've seen loads of coffee shops on Google Maps. Definitely. And I think just in general, this area has like a lot of bars and coffee shops, restaurants. Like, I think it's quite hip, and I quite like it. But I don't really drink coffee, so I got iced tea. It's their own recipe, I guess, because it's commune iced tea. Let's see. Ooh, this tastes not very sweet actually. It's just like very lemony, delicious. Kind of tastes like a homemade Lipton iced tea, so it's quite nice, yeah. Yum.
Maybe it's calamansi.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that tastes like. I just know it's good.
That is really good. Just like you said, not that sweet, a little bit sour, but definitely refreshing. And one thing that's cool about this place is that, as you can see, you can come up to the rooftop and get these really cool views of Makati. So I'm glad that we came here.
Let me try this pandan coffee. Yeah, it's not sweet, but it does kind of taste like coconutty, pandan-y. I feel like if I had a little bit more sugar and condensed milk or something, this would be good. When we first came into the city the other day from the airport, I feel like I immediately noticed that the city kind of seems like almost dystopian to me, like steampunky or cyberpunky with like lots of metal, lots of dark. The jeepneys are all made of metal and everyone's like squeezed into there. There's like crazy traffic. People are driving kind of crazy as well. And yeah, I just felt like I was kind of in some like dystopian movie or something, which was pretty cool and quite different from any other Asian city I've been to so far.
I feel like even just driving through what we've seen so far, there's a pretty significant juxtaposition between poor and rich. There's some areas that are really built up, really nice, these big high rises. But then of course, there is the poorer side of Manila with slums and things like that. But one major impression already is that the people here are amazing. They are some of the most friendly that we've ever dealt with. So I'm really excited to explore the city a little bit more. But at this moment, we are starving, so let's go grab some breakfast.
So we came to Kanto Freestyle, which I think is a chain, and they have all-day breakfast. And we ordered some traditional things, but we also got this macadamia float, and it's melting, so that's why I'm gonna have this first. It's going everywhere.
Ani is obsessed with anything nut related, so...
It's coffee.
What?
I'm pretty sure it's coffee.
Great.
We just had coffee and I don't even drink coffee. This tastes nice, but it tastes like a milky kind of coffee, I don't know, with ice cream. I don't know if we can take that much caffeine.
I know, we're gonna have a heart attack. It is absolutely roasting out here today, and this thing is melting so quickly, so let's try this. Oh, it is so sweet.
It's not that sweet.
What do you mean? It's super sweet. It's got like a huge dollop of ice cream on top. It's got marshmallows, and as you said, it definitely tastes like an instant kind of package of coffee or something like that. I certainly don't taste macadamia, but I don't know. But it's very, very sweet. Our food has now arrived, and I'm gonna try something called champorado, which is a rice porridge, a chocolate rice porridge. And typically this comes with something called tuyo, which is a dried fish, but they ran out. That was actually the main reason why I wanted to come here, because it seemed a little bit unique and a bit strange to me, chocolate and fried fish. But since they don't have the fish, I'm gonna just have to try the porridge on its own. So let's mix this up. Oh, look at it. It looks so chocolatey and super sweet. You'll have to let me know in the comments. If you're Filipino, is this more of a breakfast thing or a dessert? All right, let's try this. Oh, it's so chocolatey. That is an extremely sweet way to start your day. I feel like if you ate a whole bowl of this, you would absolutely have a sugar high. But of course, it's delicious. Super creamy, milky, and chocolatey. You don't even really taste the rice, but this is definitely delicious.
Oh, it's hot. That is so chocolatey. That is like the most chocolatey, like chocolate rice pudding I've ever had.
It's like a mix of pudding and rice porridge.
It's really nice. I don't know how anyone can eat the whole bowl. And I have no idea how you could put fish on this.
I think that would be good. It would be a nice
contrast.
Change. Yeah,
I think it would be nice contrast if there was like some saltiness and some texture. Like,
yeah,
I can actually imagine that being good.
Yeah, me too.
This is good, but I feel like you have to share it with your whole family. The next dish we have is something savory, and this is vegan longanissa, but it's actually not vegan. It's spelled with an I. We were a bit confused about that. The lady here said this is like one of the most traditional ones, and I read that this is from Vegan City, and it's a sausage they make there with garlic from there and some spices, and I think it's pork in these like little balls. It smells really good. Basically, when you walk around Manila, all you smell is garlic all the time. It's so nice. It's so chunky.
Yeah, it looks like it's not ground at all.
No. It's almost like meat chunks inside of a casing. It's really nice, so it's not spicy. It's not very snappy on the outside. It's just like kind of like this soft, chunky ball, but really, really good. Yeah.
Longanissa sausages are definitely one of the most popular breakfast items. And as you can see here, it's served with a side of garlic rice and eggs. So this looks absolutely amazing. As Ani said, the smell of garlic that just hits you anytime you go to any restaurant. And we are huge garlic fans, so I absolutely love that. All right, I'm gonna crack open this egg. It's still a little bit runny. I think I've built myself the perfect bite. I have some sausage, some rice, and egg. This is probably too much, but oh well. If you are a fan of garlic, you will love it here in the Philippines. Garlic rice, garlic in the sausage, garlic everywhere. I wouldn't typically start my day with garlic in North America, in Canada, where I'm from, but I absolutely love this. And this sausage is so good. Nice and savory, garlicky, delicious.
This rice is so good. It's so garlicky, and I think garlic just elevates rice so much. I don't feel like many other countries have garlic rice like this, and I think they should because that's superior. So good. So here in Población, there's a church called the St. Peter and Paul Parish Church, and we just went inside, and it looks like we're back in Europe basically when you're inside. Like, it's just like a Catholic church. Apparently it has over 400 years of history.
This definitely looks like a church that you would find in Spain. We actually used to live in Spain, so it feels like kind of a throwback. And from what I've read online, I think like almost 80% of the Philippines is Catholic. So there are churches all over the place. You also see religious paraphernalia pretty much everywhere. People wearing Jesus shirts, bags. You even see it on those little jeepies that drive by. So people here seem pretty religious overall. So let us know in the comments. Are you Catholic? Do you go to this church? Let us know.
And it's pretty interesting to see this kind of contrast of Spanish architecture or European architecture, and then you have Manila high-rises and other like local kind of buildings. And although I knew obviously that the Spanish was here for a long time and there's a lot of influence, and it's not just the buildings, it's also, for example, the language. I noticed they have words like pero and nunca, and just like the way it sounds reminds me a little bit of Spanish. And then you have foods like tuna empanadas and like all these names of dishes and restaurants and cafes and all that, they're all Spanish. And I didn't expect that. Probably should have expected it, but yeah, it's kind of crazy to see.
One thing we've noticed in Manila is that there seems to be a lot of weekend markets, and we actually happen to be here on a Sunday filming this. So we've decided to head to Legazpi Weekend Market and see what that's all about.
This market is crazy. It's completely different than I thought it would be because there's all these international foods. There's like okonomiyaki, there were German sausages, Philly cheesesteaks, paella from Valencia where we live. Yeah, it's crazy. I thought it was just gonna be like this like local farmers market with like some Filipino food, but so much stuff.
I know, and it smells absolutely incredible here. It's very packed. I heard that this place is a little bit more bougie than some other places, but don't you worry. We actually have another video coming up where we visit some local markets for some street food. So make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned for that.
There are also dogs everywhere. Everyone seems to be coming here with their dog on a Sunday to eat some delicious food.
There's dogs everywhere in the Philippines. I feel like compared to some other Southeast Asian countries, they absolutely love dogs here. So many little dogs, so cute. They even have samples.
Get one for you too. Ooh. Thank you. Apple pie samples.
Try it out.
It's a bunch of big chunks of apple. Let's see, how am I gonna eat this? It tastes like the topping of an apple crumble, really cinnamony. That's delicious. There's not much pie.
I got this tiny little cookie sample. Very crunchy and sweet. But there isn't just food here. There's all sorts of other stuff as well. You can buy fresh vegetables. I saw places that were selling jewelry, cutlery, clothing, pretty much everything. So don't have to just come here for the food.
But food's the best.
Yeah, of course. That's why we come here.
And I got carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. There's walnuts in there. And I love nuts.
They also have halo-halo here, which is one of the most famous Filipino desserts, but we are actually going to try a bunch of different Filipino desserts in a separate video because we've actually never tried any Filipino desserts, so we're going to dedicate a whole video to it.
So since it's so hot, first we decided to get a drink, and they have some really interesting flavors at different stalls here. I keep seeing like something buku juice. I don't know if that's coconut. It looks like coconut, but we got cucumber juice, and it apparently has sugar in it a little bit.
Only 10%.
Yeah, and it smells like cucumber salad, like the juice that you get with the cucumber salad. So I'm interested to try this. That is so weird. It tastes like mushed up cucumber, like not like the salad, because I guess the salad has some like herbs and stuff and like vinegar flavors. This one just literally tastes like a really watery cucumber with some sugar. It's not bad. It's like quite nice. It's refreshing. It tastes like watermelon juice, but instead of watermelon, you have cucumber.
As Ani mentioned, they had all sorts of other juices here. There was one stand that was selling fresh calamansi juice, but I'm a bit worried that these ones are going to be really sugary, and it is hot today, so I want something that's like light and refreshing, not too much sugar.
That's what this is.
Especially because we already had a sugar overload with that champorado, so let's see. That's actually really good. That's super refreshing. It's like a tiny bit sweet, but not really. It basically just tastes like a bunch of blended up cucumbers strained into a glass. So you have like a couple little chunks, but it's not chunky. And this is really nice, and it's so cold and refreshing. There were just so many different snacks to choose from. It was really hard to decide, but we decided to try an empanada because, as we mentioned, we did live in Spain, and now we have to see what a Filipino empanada tastes like. So let's try this. It seems like it's baked rather than fried, so let's see.
Ooh, loads of carrots.
It's quite sweet. This is definitely a lot sweeter than any Spanish empanada I've ever had. It could be because there's so many carrots in there. Yeah, this is pretty good, but it definitely tastes different than a Spanish empanada. It is stacked though. There's so much in here. Look at all that. Looks like, whoa, I think there's egg in here too. So bizarre.
It smells good though. It's not sweet.
Obviously it's sweet.
I mean, I think it's just a carrot. It kind of tastes like a meat and carrot stew. It's not sweet. It's not like sugary, desserty sweet. No, you're crazy. This is quite nice. It tastes like your mom made like a carrot and meat, potato, and egg stew. I don't know.
Yeah,
and put it in empanada. And but the bread's really good.
I think the bread is what I think is sweet.
Ooh, yeah. You're right. It's a bread. It's kind of sweet bread filled with carrot stew. Yeah, I wish it wasn't a sweet, like on the outside, but it's still pretty nice.
Yeah, the inside is really nice.
And I guess in Asia, breads are often sweet, right? Maybe that's why. Honestly, I really like this market, and it kind of seems to me like a market you would find in Europe or North America. But I wish there was more Filipino food, to be honest, because we usually come to these places in other countries to try the local food, and I feel like there's just so much international food here that it's almost hard to find like little Filipino snacks and stuff, because it's all like, I don't know, American Thai food, Mexican, so many tacos and bread, and it's pretty cool, but I want to try some local weird Filipino things.
There'll be a lot more of that coming up anyway, so it doesn't matter. I've actually made us a reservation for a very popular Filipino restaurant chain, but that's not for a couple hours, so we're gonna do what the Filipinos do and go to a mall in Kulab.
It's pretty crazy because we're still in Makati, and this area looks completely different than Población, where we're staying and where we were earlier. Here it's like all these high-rises and greenery and modernness, like everything looks completely different, and it's only like a 5-minute drive, so it's crazy how the city changes like that.
Yeah, I have to imagine that it's probably like that all throughout the city, but of course we haven't explored that much yet. But even here, there's like this sign behind us at this construction site that says Greenbelt is changing, Greenbelt is evolving, and it definitely seems like parts of Manila are changing and evolving. There's construction everywhere. It's just really cool, and I cannot wait to explore more of this city.
And even just driving to the city when we came in from the airport, and then when we were in Mandaluyong, it's all like completely different. Like it's all like different cities now, I guess. In Manila, they're called cities. Yeah, so it's not surprising, but I guess to us it's surprising. We now came to the Greenbelt Mall, I think. And it's so posh. You walk in and you're just like, Louis Vuitton. All these brands that are not for us. But let's see. I think there's like an outdoor area even and stuff.
Although we are not really mall people, and especially posh mall people, I can definitely appreciate this mall. And I guess I understand why this area is called Greenbelt, because it is so green, so beautiful.
There's palm trees everywhere and it just looks so posh. It's like, did you imagine the Philippines to be this way?
I feel like when you look up videos of Manila on YouTube, there is such a focus on the whole slum aspect. They even have a name for it, poverty porn, where people just show the poorer sides of the city. So I really had no idea what to expect from Manila, but being here in the Greenbelt, seeing how luxurious and posh and green it is, I mean, it makes sense why this area is called the Greenbelt. It's just a side of Manila that I didn't really expect outside of BGC. So this is absolutely wild. This is by far more posh than anything I'm used to where I'm from in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
Yeah, this reminds me of like places maybe in LA or in Australia, like super mega posh, because even where I'm from in Germany, we don't really have poshness like this.
I know. It's not really our vibe. We're more of a eat local street food, go to local food spots kind of people, but it's still really interesting to see, and obviously it's beautiful.
One thing that I've noticed since we got here is that everyone who's on a motorbike is driving with like a helmet that's full face. Like, I feel like I've never seen that before in Southeast Asia. A lot of countries actually have people driving with no helmets and all that, and here everyone has a full-faced helmet. So I assume that's the law here, which is pretty good, because we've definitely seen some bad accidents before where people weren't wearing the right helmet. So that's pretty nice to see. I guess that means that even though people are driving like maniacs here, they're safe maniacs.
It is now time for dinner, so we came to a place called Manam, which is for comfort Filipino cuisine. And I saw that this place was highly recommended online on Reddit. Many locals said that they come here for Filipino food because it's consistent, it's delicious, so we're very excited to try some Filipino dishes for the first time. To begin our meal, we got ourselves some freshly squeezed juices, and I got a calamansi juice. And if you don't know what a calamansi is, it's basically a little citrus fruit that's very similar to a lime, and they use it everywhere here in the Philippines. Let's try it. A little bit sour, a little bit sweet. This almost tastes more like an orange, to be honest, than a lime, but it's really refreshing, especially in this heat.
I got a dalandan juice, and apparently dalandans are oranges, a specific type of oranges that are very popular in the Philippines, and they're very sour, right? Is that what I read? Or bitter? And they're green. And I already saw this earlier at the market, but I didn't know what it was. Oh yeah, it tastes kind of like a bit like grapefruity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but not as bitter. And not as sour. It's actually quite sweet, but it's quite nice, yeah. Really nice. They look almost the same though. Let's see if we didn't like switch them. They don't taste that different.
I think, wait.
You haven't tried it yet. They don't taste that different. Yours is a little bit sweeter, I think. They're both nice.
Oh no, they definitely taste different. What are you talking about? Like, this is definitely way more bitter. It almost, like you said, tastes a little bit grapefruity. This is a lot more sweet and tastes, to me, more like an orange. But both really good. All of our food has now arrived and it looks absolutely delicious. We ordered ourselves 4 different dishes, as well as 2 types of rice, a normal rice and a garlic rice. The first dish we're gonna try is called sizzling sisig, which is probably one of the most popular Filipino dishes. It is made from pork jowl, pork belly, pork ear, chicken liver, and then it's seasoned with onions, calamansi, and chili as well. And I know that you are supposed to mix this up as soon as you get it. So let's not waste time and let's mix this. Whoa. It looks like this one's also topped with like pork floss or something like that. I don't know what it is, but this looks absolutely delicious. I think I'm gonna just try it straight up for now, and then we'll get it with some rice. This should have a bunch of different textures, so let's see. You hear that crunch? Oh. That is so good, man. Chase that with a little bit of rice. Even though this is a pig's face, do not let that intimidate you, because this dish is absolutely amazing. It is so crunchy, fatty, and it is the perfect accompaniment with this rice. I love this dish so much.
It smells so good. Am I gonna eat it by itself? Yeah. It's like pork skin, like crackling. We actually had sisig in Spain before, in Madrid, at a Filipino restaurant. I feel like this is way different. This is way better.
Yeah.
This tastes so good. Although the other one was delicious too. Yeah. I mean, there's some like sourness or something in there.
Yeah, the calamansi.
Yeah. So good. Such a good start. Yeah. The next dish we're gonna eat is called sinagong, and it's a soup which is made out of tamarind. Therefore, I assume it's quite sour, and it looks like it has like pork belly, I don't know, morning glory maybe, zucchini, onion. I have no idea. Let's just try the broth first. Ooh, it's sour. Like it's really sour, but it's really nice. Let's try some meat. I don't want to eat like the whole.
Who cares?
That meat is so nice. This kind of reminds me of like a soup you would get like in Austria, like Tafelspitz or something, but like super sour. So way better. Like I really like the sourness. This is really good. And so, not what I would expect from Filipino food, to be honest. This is like much different. Really good.
I've heard a lot about this soup, but I've never had it, and I've always been really curious to try it. I love sour things. I like tamarind, so I'm sure I'm gonna love this as well. All right, let's get myself some pork belly, some onions, some of this greenery. Ooh. I thought that Anya making this Austrian Tafelspitz comparison was really weird, but I totally get what you mean. It's like this nice, it almost tastes like beef soup, even though it's pork. I know it's pork, but that's what it reminds me of too. It's very hearty. It's really refreshing. I love that citrusy tamarind, the sour notes. This is really, really good. And I'm glad that we have a nice hearty soup like this to accompany all this meat that we're gonna follow this up with. We are now going to try some adobo, which is, I think, the national dish of the Philippines. It is extremely popular. I think you can get a bunch of different types. You can get it with seafood, chicken, pork, and this one is actually mixed both with chicken and pork. It is made with vinegar, soy sauce, garlic, and it's marinated for a long time so that it just soaks up all that flavor. This looks absolutely incredible. This also looks like it's topped with maybe pork floss or chicken floss. I don't know. But this is the perfect pairing with some white rice. So let's get some rice. Let's get a piece of this crispy pork belly. And let's enjoy. Oh man. That pork belly is so crispy, so fatty and so meaty, but it's also really tender. I think that it said that it was fried first and then stewed. So you can tell it's very soft, but also crunchy. It's just like perfect texture in your mouth. And of course, this adobo, the sauce, is savory, but a little bit sweet too. This is just really nice.
It looks like kind of like syrupy.
Yeah, it's thick. It must have some sugar in there as well, but it's delicious.
I got myself a piece of pork belly and a whole clove of garlic.
Add some garlic to that garlic.
That is so good. That garlic clove, it's so creamy. I don't know what the sauce tastes like, but yeah, it's kind of sweet and savory. And the pork belly is just divine. Yeah, this is so good. And again, not really what I think of when I think of like Asian food. I don't know. It's so interesting. I feel like Filipino food is quite different than like Thai food or Vietnamese food and stuff. I like it.
It's funny because Anya says these aren't the kind of flavors that remind her of Asian food, but my mom used to cook chicken with garlic and soy sauce like this. So I guess my mom used to cook Filipino food growing up. Not quite, but taste is very similar to what I grew up with.
My family would never cook Asian food, really, so maybe that's why.
The chicken is delicious as well. Super crispy, really moist. I just love adobo.
Another dish that is really popular here, I think, is called kare kare. I think that's how you say it. It's a peanut-based stew, and it's like this thick peanut paste, and it comes with shrimp paste. I don't know how I'm supposed to eat that together. And this one is the oxtail version. So this is going to be a bit difficult to eat because I want to get a bite of everything.
Pick it up with your hands.
That meat's delicious. It's so tender. And this sauce, it's so peanutty. Like I already tasted it. It has chunks of peanuts.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good. It tastes like chunky, less sweet, dissolved like peanut butter.
Totally my jam.
So good. And the oxtail is delicious. Ooh, and then there's like more meat at the bottom too, so it's not just this ring.
Some of it is intestines and stuff, I think, though. Or not intestines, tripe, I think.
Oh, really? And what's this?
I think it's eggplant.
Oh, yeah. Try that. Yeah, this is delicious. Let me see. Should I try this like tripe-y thing? I think it's just meat.
Oh, really?
It's delicious, yeah. It's really good.
I can smell the peanut from here.
That ox tastes really like oxy, a little bit gamey, I don't know. This is so good. Everything here is just so delicious.
In Spain, ox and beef tail or bull tail is very popular as well. They have a dish called toro de rabo, which is a bull's tail. And that's what this reminds me of, except they definitely did not have peanut sauce. I love peanuts. I cannot wait to try this. I'm just gonna get a little bit of the sauce first. That is literal heaven. Now, I'm gonna try this as well. I'm just gonna pick it straight up. Maybe that's not the way you're supposed to do it, but so tender. Let's get some vegetables. Chase it with a little bit of rice. I'm sure I have this all in my beard. Peanut sauce is going everywhere, but I love this dish so much. It's honestly hard to choose a favorite because everything that we've had here today is amazing. So good. But this one's definitely up there. I'm taking a tiny bit of this shrimp paste, putting it on my kare kare. Let's try it. It's pretty good. I feel like it just brings an extra saltiness to it, which I don't necessarily think that it needs because it's delicious on its own, but still good.
Let me try this kare kare with the shrimp paste as well. Brandon said he actually got the aftertaste in the end, which was a bit weird. I don't really taste the difference. Maybe I didn't put enough.
No, I put that much too. You'll get it in like a minute from now.
I wonder if people put it in the bowl, like the whole thing, or how you're supposed to eat it. Are you just supposed to like put a little dab on, or yeah, I don't know, because I find it a weird combination, right? Like peanut butter almost with like shrimp paste. It's so random.
This food has been absolutely delicious. We were actually debating on whether we should go to this place or another restaurant called Mesa. It seems to be a rivalry kind of between these two restaurants. People love both of them. So let us know in the comments, which place do you prefer? Do you prefer Manam or Mesa? But now we're gonna take a minute, devour the rest of this food, and enjoy ourselves.
This is the end of our video. We had an amazing first day here. We love the food and we're so full, and we love the Philippines so far. But obviously we know that we've only scratched the surface. We've only seen a tiny little bit of Manila so far.
But if you're worried about that, do not worry, because we have many more videos coming, including one where we go to the Ugbo street food market, so we can try a bunch of different local street food. We've got one trying a bunch of different Filipino fast food chains, and also one where we try Filipino desserts for the first time. So stay tuned for all of those, and maybe even some more. But for this video, that is it. So if you did like it, please give it a like, write us a comment, and by far the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. But that is it for this one. See you all in the next one.
Bye!